Camille姐，我们今天要讲什么故事？他是谁呀？Picasso。对了，我们今天要讲的就是名画家毕卡索的故事哦。爸比跟他很熟，因为爸比是艺术家，知道很多毕卡索的故事。那我们今天也来学习一下谁是毕卡索吧。这本叫做 Picasso and the Girl with a Ponytail， 是吗？就是他吧，绑着马尾的女孩。A story about Pablo Picasso， 这是毕卡索的名字吧。我们来看看这个女孩跟毕卡索有什么关系吧。It was the first day of summer. Sylvette and her friends were sitting on the terrace in the sun. Sylvette was so shy that she always sat a little apart, but she listened to every word. Have you heard? Picasso is staying right here in Belarus.Oh, it's incredible! The most famous artist in the world. Every picture he paints is worth a fortune. I heard he had a huge white car sent from America in exchange for just one painting. 所以他跟他的朋友在聊天闲聊，他们都知道毕卡索是谁，而且知道他要来到这个镇上了。他在这里吗？Sylvette was very interested. Secretly, she dreamed of becoming an artist. In a suitcase under her bed was a sketchbook full of her drawings. All her secrets were locked inside that suitcase, things no one else had ever seen. 所以就这个主角女孩，她呢非常害羞。但是他非常喜欢画画哦，他有一个大大的行李箱，里面都藏了他画的画作。他喜欢素描，对不对？所以他听到有艺术家要来，他当然很兴奋了。Suddenly, Sylvette noticed something absolutely amazing. Right in front of her eyes, a beautiful picture had appeared above the terrace wall. Look! Shouted her friends. It's Sylvette!Only Sylvette has a ponytail like that. 怎么会有一幅他的画？是谁画的？他是谁？大画家画的。Sylvette hid her face in her hands. She heard a roar of laughter from behind the wall. They all ran to look. They saw a man holding a picture above his head.He was short, but very muscular. He wore a striped shirt, shorts, and a pair of bedroom slippers. It was Picasso. 所以原来就是毕卡索画的他的画像啊，太光荣了吧！I saw you all from my studio, he laughed, and I made a sketch. Come on.Why don't you visit me? 哇，你看他的画室里面全部都是画当然还有很多话剧哦。Sylvette was last inside the door, her heart beating like a drum. The studio was a treasure house, as if the artist had never thrown away a single thing. Every surface was piled with bits and pieces.Tints and pen, scraps of wood, strange sculptures, children's toys, broken pots, a cowboy hat, flowers, painted plates, a boomerang, fish bones, a clown's mask, a bird cage, guitars, a bullfighter's sword, and more than anything else, Sylvette saw paintings.Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, each one signed with a single word. Picasso 都是他画的哦。艺术家通常都比较随性一点，你看房子好乱哦，都不整理，对不对？他就想到什么就做什么。毕卡索大概就是这样子的，是不是？Picasso was still laughing. He was 73 years old, but he acted like a young boy. Now then, he shouted, I will draw one person. Who will it be? One of Sylvette's friends stepped forward quickly. She was very beautiful. You can join me, Mr. Picasso, she said. I will sit for you. Picasso looked at her quite fiercely. No, he said. You saw my picture outside. I have chosen the girl with the ponytail. 他要画 Sylvette 太无限的光荣了吧，无上的光荣。Sylvette felt a bit sick. She wanted to run straight out of the door, but Picasso was very kind. It's all right, he said gently. You can trust me. Come and sit down. Sylvette is too shy, tease her friends, and too dreaming as well. That's good, laughed the artist. Then we will get along. Because Picasso is a dreamer too. Come back another time. He called to Sylvette's friend, Sylvette and I have work to do. Picasso looked carefully at Sylvette. She was shivering. Here, borrow this coat, he said. Then he began to draw. The first drawing was slow and careful, a delicate pencil study. 这是简基本的素描，他画得很像诶。The second picture was larger, Sylvette still and nervous as a wild deer. 这看起来比较抽象的，对不对？他的脸都开始变得有棱有角了。Then Picasso began to work faster and faster. The pictures grew larger and more strange. Picasso was enjoying himself. 哇，这幅画你看得出来这是 Sylvette 吗？看不出来哦，这幅好抽象哦，脸都被分割成一块一块的。At the end of the day, Sylvette went home. She took out her sketchbook, but her head was spinning, and none of her drawings came out right. The next morning, Sylvette returned nervously to the studio. Perhaps Picasso had forgotten her, but he opened the door and grinned at her like a schoolboy. Little by little, the paintings became more darling and more extraordinary. Little by little, Sylvette became less shy. Picasso seems to change every moment. Just like his pictures, he was as proud as a king. He painted like a magician. And yet he liked to dress up and play games. Sometimes he put on funny hats or made masks to make Sylvette laugh. He told her about the animals he had owned, dogs, a goat who was allowed to sleep indoors, and a bad-tempered monkey. Once he had even caped an owl. Of course, Picasso had painted them all. 所以他像一个魔法师一样，叮叮，双手一放上去就可以画出漂亮的画了。你敢相信吗？他有养过猫头鹰耶，还养过猴子。当然，狗跟羊可能比较多人会养，他好厉害哦。All through the summer, Picasso created pictures of Sylvette and sculptures in cardboard and metal. As the work became bigger and bolder, she became braver too. Sylvette's father had left home when she was small, but for that summer, Picasso was like a father to her. Shy Sylvette was the most famous painter in the world.It was a real fairy tale. 你敢相信吗？遇到他梦寐以求的人呢，他很尊敬皮卡索，因为他很喜欢画画。One day, Sylvette plucked up her courage and showed Picasso her secret sketchbook. She told him about her dream of becoming an artist. Picasso didn't laugh or tease her. That's good, he said loudly. But you have to be brave and learn to let go. Look at me. When I'm angry, I make angry pictures. 这是生气的话哦。When I'm sad, my pictures are sad too. 这是悲伤的话。And when I'm happy, my painting is full of joy. Even my 这里啊，开心的话是不是很高兴？看起来就很高兴。Even my dreams are in my work. There can be no secrets in painting. 所以人家一看就知道你心里在想什么。他讲没错，你可以把你的喜怒哀乐都画在画里哦。That afternoon, a photographer came to the studio. Sylvette hated having her photo taken. She wanted to hide away. Then she saw Picasso making funny faces at the camera, and suddenly it didn't seem so bad. The man took dozens of pictures of Picasso and Sylvette beside the paintings. Her friends couldn't believe their eyes. Shy Sylvette on the front cover of a famous magazine, and before long, every magazine wanted a picture of Picasso's new model. Girls in Paris and London were even copying her hairstyle. They all wanted a Sylvette ponytail. Sylvette cut out all the photographs and locked them carefully in her suitcase. 哇！一瞬间就变成名人了，大家都开始争相模仿他，这就是一种效应。看他把他的海报啊、杂志封面啊什么都剪下来，然后放到他的行李箱、他的宝箱里面了。Sometimes Picasso worked late into the night. Once Sylvette saw him behind the studio in the middle of a pile of garbage, hunting for interesting objects.The richest artists who ever lived made sculptures from old junk. Sylvette had seen some of them in magazines. A baboon with 2 toy cars for a face. A bull's head made from a bicycle seat and handlebars. 你看，这都是他做的。真正的艺术品，真的是毕卡索做的吧？不过他最有名的还是他的绘画吧。Sylvette loved watching Picasso work. Painting sculptures and painted pots poured from him like a volcano. At last, Picasso started a huge sculpture of Sylvette, with all pieces of pottery for the arm and legs. It had a long neck and a round back just like hers, but the head was so strange. Sylvette didn't think it looked like her at all. As she watched, Sylvette had a sad feeling that this would be the last time Picasso would use her as his model. Since the day on the terrace, she had been in his work. Soon it would have faded like the summer. 暑假要结束了，他的工作是不是也要结束了？可是他最后一次当他的小 model 吗？模特儿？你想不想当模特儿？你也想当是不是？ While Picasso worked, Sylvette began telling him her secrets. She talked about the time her father had gone away. Sylvette kept a special picture of him in her suitcase, but she had never told anyone how hurt and lonely she had been. Picasso looked up at her with burning black eyes. It is very hard when people move apart, he said.But try to remember, with every door that closes, a new door opens. 他讲这句话好有道理哦。一扇门关上了，就会有另外一扇门打开哦。所以不要绝望。It began to grow dark. As they looked at the sculpture, Sylvette told Picasso a secret she had locked away and tried to forget.She talked about the man who had come to live with her mother, a loud, unpleasant bully. Sylvette was sometimes so unhappy that she wanted to run away. 她都欺负她的继父吧，我想，或是她妈妈的男朋友都欺负她。Picasso looked at her kindly, then he jumped up. You have given me an idea, he said.I knew something was missing from the sculpture. Sylvette must hold something in her hand. 她拿了什么？哦 Picasso began searching through bits and pieces on a table. He tipped out a drawer onto the floor. At last, he found what he wanted. In her hand, Picasso announced, Sylvette holds a key. 他拿了一把钥匙哦。He pushed the big iron key into the hand of the sculptor. Sylvette looked puzzled. She has a key because she has so many secrets locked away. Picasso fixed the key in place with some plaster. But she also has a key, listen, Sylvette, to open new doors. 他给他一把可以锁上秘密，也可以打开另外一扇门的钥匙哦。Then Picasso reached out his hand, white with plaster, and gentle touched Sylvette's face. Look, it is finished. The girl with the key. Now, Sylvette, I would like to give you a present. You may choose any pictures you like. Perhaps it will help to open some doors for you. When Sylvette stepped out of Picasso's studio for the last time, she was carrying that very first picture. She held it carefully because the paint on the signature was not quite dry. For Sylvette from Picasso, a beautiful picture of the girl with a ponytail. Wow. After that summer, Sylvette began to paint as bravely as Picasso had taught her. Gradually, she became a well-known artist herself.
Mommy, 我在我的 tent 里有拿一些东西。
哦，真的哦。里面有话剧吗？
没有。
没有。
只是我的东西只是我的玩具。
哦，好，
你有看到吗？
没有，你等一下给我看好不好？
等一下，我上楼在里面玩。
讲完故事以后可以吗？When the picture，
你可以拿一些书来跟我讲话。
好啊。
还可以讲故事。我在里面有那个松饼可以吃。
好，那你等一下做松饼给我吃。我们先把 Sylvette 跟 Picasso 的故事讲完。When the picture Picasso gave her was sold, Sylvette had enough money to pay for a beautiful apartment of her very own, with space for a real studio high on the top floor with views across the whole of Paris. Wow, 超高级的，你看可以看到巴黎铁塔。Sylvette ran up the stairs. She turned the key and opened the door. 哦，真的 ，Picasso 给了她一把钥匙哦。这是他吧？所以这是真人真事吗？小迷你看，这就是那个女孩的照片啊。被遮住了，是不是可以看到 Picasso 在这里耶 ？Picasso 在这里。Pablo Picasso was born in Spain in 1881, the son of an art teacher. He could draw before he could speak. Wow. 所以他先会画画才会讲话的。And by the time he was 12, he had started to produce astonishingly skillful oil paintings. Throughout his long life, his output in every medium was matched only by the extraordinary range of his styles. From delicate etchings to massive and terrifying paintings like 这毛病不会念 Guernica 什么 Picasso's work was always pioneering and brutally honest. Picasso bought a house in Villars in the south of France. Here, in 1954, he caught sight of a beautiful shining angel, Sylvette David, in a typically frenzied burst of creative energy. Picasso produced more than 40 images of the girl with a ponytail, who became an international icon. This was a turbulent time for Picasso. He had recently separated from Frances Gillett and met his last wife. 我想看完这个故事啊，我想看他们是怎么认识的啊。For one summer, Sylvette was Picasso's platonic muse. He always treated her with kindness and respect. The following year, Picasso had a big exhibition of his Sylvette's painting in Paris. Visitors were amazed to see how the work had grown from the first delicate drawing to the sculpture of the girl with a key. But it didn't stop there. A few years later, 2 concrete sculptures of Sylvette, each as big as a house, were built to Picasso's designs in Holland and New York. Picasso produced more than 30,000 original works. He died in 1973, aged 92, one of the most famous artists in the world. 毕卡索他92岁才过世，他活了92年哦，当时算是长寿了吧。Sylvette David, now Lydia Corbett, lives and paints in the west of England. Her beautiful pictures and wood sculptures can be seen at the Francis Kahlo Gallery in London. 就是这位女孩了，好漂亮的女孩。好啦，这本就是 Picasso and a Girl with a Ponytail。你看。